What in the hell did I just watch on Netflix? I just had the, let's call it the displeasure of watching Ryan Murphy's newest season of Monster, this time focusing on Ed Gein. I can't even explain to you what I just watched. To sum it up for you, it was exploitive, it was untrue, it was trying to glorify and almost make us sympathize with the character of Ed Gein. Not even a character, he was a real person. Let's back this up before we get started. Ryan Murphy's first foray into this monster series was focusing on the killer of Jeffrey Dahmer. I said the same thing then, that making a series and having someone like Evan Peters play the role of Dahmer was just very exploitive and in such poor taste. There was a huge following that this show had garnered, and it was causing very negative publicity on the city of Milwaukee and around the victims' families that were directly involved in the Jeffrey Dahmer case. This time it's the same thing, and I cannot believe some of the things I saw in this series. Guys, today I am going to be starting out the Halloween spooky season not on an uplifting note, but on a very down, sour note. I'm going to go through and talk about all of the issues and overall rage-inducing feelings I had following Monster, the Ed Gein story. Starting out, I followed this case a little bit when I was in high school. I know that sounds weird, but I had a law class and we had to pick a case within the 20th or 21st century and kind of follow that and document the case for our kind of midterm project. I picked, weirdly enough, the Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein case. So I think in that regard, I've gotten a lot of facts and be able to really see where this show gets very little things right, but the majority of things absolutely wrong. People in the series that had nothing to do with Ed Gein, love interests, family members, the list is absolutely insulting. Charlie Hunnam plays Ed Gein, and for the first 40 minutes in the first episode, I had no idea it was him. He did a really convincing job. His performance, for the most part, was very, very good. His voice was like nails on a chalkboard to me. It almost sounded like if Mickey Mouse was from the state of Wisconsin. Oh, it was so obnoxious. Very recently, we got some audio files, and you were able to hear what Ed Gein's voice sounded like. And for the most part, it sounded nothing like that. So why they decided to go in this direction, among other things, makes no sense. Throughout the series, you follow characters like his mother, and she is a very God-fearing woman, and she tells Ed that you'll love no other woman except your mother. For the most part, a lot of this stuff was not true. Ryan Murphy and the creators of the show take a very small sliver of a truth and run with it. In the show, he has this love interest, Adeline Watkins, who plays a very, very small part that some say in the actual life of Ed Gein. In this show, they are getting engaged, they love each other. She's the reason behind some of the horrible and gross, disgusting acts that Ed Gein does, and there was no proof of this in real life. Why they decided to add it into the show was for nothing more than to just push a simple, structured plot into a real-life story. Like I said, there is nothing that points to these two having a complex romantic relationships and for her to be getting him, Ed Gein, into all of these, fascinations about doing things with deceased bodies, and it's just insane. It's ridiculous. And then a portion of the show follows her when she goes off to New York City and she wants to be a photographer's assistant for this guy that takes crime scenes photos of these horrific crimes. I don't care about you. Why am I following this character that half of the stuff is just made up? And then it shows it, spoiler alert, it shows her in New York and nothing's going her way, and you're supposed to sympathize for this character, and you're supposed to feel so bad for her that she's in this cold, dreary, dank apartment. And then what does she do? She takes her shoe off and then she kills her landlady. That never happened. If I was the family of Adeline Watkins, I would be pissed. Pissed for them displaying her like this. No one truly knows what kind of a person she was, and yeah, she was probably a little bit weird, but to go to this extent is just insane. Another thing that the show really gets into is his obsession with Ilsa Koch, who was a real life person and was a horrible, horrible wife of a commandant at a concentration camp. Some of the stuff that she did was take the prisoners of the camp and use their skin as furniture. In the show, you see that Ed has this insane infatuation with her and really gets a lot of his inspiration through her. Some of the stuff that they do and some of the things that they portray is just so out there. Like there's a scene where you see Ed on his tractor, and all of a sudden people that were in the concentration camp just starts running through his field in Wisconsin, and they start chasing him in the house. And why are we showing this? Why are we showing this? This has nothing to do with the character of Ed Gein, and it's pushing nothing further in the plot. One of the main theses that drives me insane about this show talks about how it is society and entertainment that really profited off Ed Gein, and how society loves these gruesome, horror, scary stories. It's like the creators of the show and Ryan Murphy are trying to smell their own farts. The ending episodes of this series are like a goddamn fever dream. Fever dream. You follow him after he gets arrested and he's put in this mental institution, and they find out that he has schizophrenia. You find that out by him talking through a ham radio to Ilsa Koch, who we had mentioned before, and this other trans woman, and then you find out that he was never really talking to them. Why are you adding this into the show? This is a show based upon a real, horrendous, grotesque person, and you're stylizing it for no reason. The murders in the show and the victims that he kills, the 2 confirmed killings that he had, the way that those are done, it can be just cut and dry. You don't need to add anything. But even at that, they make it show that Ed had this relationship with one of the victims and how her son was the deputy to the police sheriff. Never happened. It never happened. Why are you taking those liberties? I know I keep saying it, but it just baffles me. It baffles me that Netflix, of all companies, well, actually, I'm not surprised seeing the other crap that they put in there. Netflix is just littered with true crime and documentaries. You could go for endless hours down that rabbit hole. But I feel like my intelligence was insulted by watching this series, and it has become one of the top trending programs on Netflix right now as of the time of this recording, and I feel like I contributed to that. Shame on me. Shame on me, goddammit. But I feel like I need to talk about this show to get over some of the anger that I have. Another insane and outrageous thing that this show does is talking about how he helped in catching Ted Bundy. That never happened. The show does this to almost show a redeeming quality about Ed Gein, but it never happened. It's just insane, the things that you see in this show. I could go on for hours talking about this stuff. Like, the amount of stuff that I've seen coming out about this show and people who actually liked it, I don't get it. Usually I'm for people liking their own stuff, and I don't have an issue with that. But this show was just insanely stupid. How can you sit there and try to convince us that he was just a misunderstood person that was mentally sick? I understand that he was, but that doesn't excuse the horrendous things that he's created. And this show likes to talk about how the media likes to glorify violence and likes to add in this grotesque nature of it. That is coming from a show that got millions of dollars and was funded by Netflix. The irony of all this is just the icing on the cake. Guys, I'm going to stop talking about this show before I get even madder. Let me know if you saw this new series of Monster, and let me know what you thought about it. I will try to erase this from my memory, because with October here, I'm going to talk about some actual scary and spooky stuff that I actually like, and that'll be coming very soon. Let me know in the comments down below, like I said, what you thought about the series, and let me know what you would like to see for the rest of October, and the rest of the spooky season. I love you all, and god damn it, this show sucked. I'll see you on the next one.